Category 11, Destination Marketing. Now, for those of you that have entered this category, you'll appreciate that there are only 5 main questions. They don't have the subcomponents that other categories do. This category recognises creativity and innovation in a fully integrated destination marketing campaign that is proven to be successful in the marketplace. A campaign can be a single promotional activity or a series of related promotions conducted during the course of the year. This category is open but not limited to regional tourism organisations, local tourism organisations and marketing alliances. Question 1, background. Now I'd like to provide you with some tips in relation to answering this question. And the detail in this question is seeking to understand the rationale and objectives for your campaign. So I would suggest you think about things like, what did you want to happen? So consider using dot points to highlight the key 4 or 5 goals that you aim to achieve as a result of the marketing program. It's really important that you use measurement data here. So think about things like, did you have goals related to the number of campaign partners? Goals related to industry dollars contributing to a marketing program? The number of visitors that you wanted to travel to a destination as a result of the marketing program? Or did you have goals around increasing the length of stay for consumers that were coming to your area? Were you trying to increase expenditure by visitors? Or were you trying to increase the dispersal of visitors within your destination? So ensure that you create those key 4 or 5 goals that you aim to achieve behind the marketing campaign. I would suggest that you also include your mission or your vision for the campaign if you have one. It's really important to set the scene here for the judges about why. Why did you actually go to all of the effort of conducting this campaign? Those submissions that do very well in this category very clearly articulate the philosophy and the rationale behind the marketing program. Question 2 is on research, and it's a 3-part question which is seeking to understand who your target markets were for the activity, why, and what research did you use to identify them? So make sure that you quote statistical data to prove that your approach was the right way to go. Consider informing the judges about your target markets in relation to geographic markets, the demographics and psychographics of the people travelling to your area, and even things like the media preferences that they liked and their motivations for travel. It's very important again that you quote statistical data here to substantiate your target markets and explain why those people were the ones that you targeted. Question 3, creativity. This question is seeking to understand the philosophy behind your creative strategy. So judges are looking to see how you've integrated that philosophy into your actual creative. So tip number 1, include samples of your creative approach. If you conducted a branding strategy, tell us about the process that you went through. Tell us about the brand hierarchy that came out of that process. Lead us on the journey about how you evolved to the creative that you actually got to. Give us an understanding of your brand essence. Help us understand how that translated into what was unique about your destination and the stories that you wanted to communicate about your destination. So think about also how the creative linked with consumer expectations. So for example, in question 2, if you identified that a particular piece of research indicated consumers to your area were looking for nature-based activities, and then you have used that in your creative executions, tell us about that research linkage. It's really important that you show us how these tie together. Include examples of your creative across all channels. So if you've done EDMs or digital or print or TVCs, show us examples of all of that type of creative. You might be wondering how you can show digital and TVCs within an application that doesn't allow hyperlinks, and I suggest including techniques like your storyboard for your TVCs or screenshots of your home pages. Anything to visually engage the judges so they understand what the look and feel of your creative strategy is. Question 4, execution. The judges are looking to understand the marketing strategies that you used. So simplistically, how did you execute the campaign? Explain all elements of your media plan and the broader strategy, and include all forms of marketing, your print, digital, broadcast, public relations, direct communications. Give us as much information you can as to what was the actual marketing strategy that you used. And finally, question 5 is asking to assess the impact of those marketing strategies and the destination campaign that you conducted. Judges are seeking to understand, was your campaign successful? I would suggest that you go back to question 1, which asked for your philosophy and your rationale, and re-quote those key 4 or 5 goals and objectives to us, and show us how did you go. So if one of your goals was to increase the average length of stay, do you know if your campaign actually positively or negatively impacted on that? If you can, drill down and show specific outcomes for each element of your execution. For example, walk us through the increases in your website visitation. It may be related to the redemption of special offers. You may measure increased brand awareness. You may have measured increases in forward bookings, occupancy levels, or tickets sold for events. So the judges will really be looking for measurable data that will actually show how successful your marketing campaign is.